Halloween! And what better thing to do on a spooky day than to talk about money and finances and budgeting. Spooky. I also have a spider on my hand. I used to be deathly afraid of spiders, and then one morning I just kind of woke up and was like, oh yeah, they're our friends. Hi, welcome. My name is Karina. If you are new here, hi. Thanks for being here with me. I'm very thankful that you decided to tune in on this day because it is my very first budgeting, finance, tracking video. I am 31 years old and I have about $26,000 of consumer debt. We're just gonna get into it. We're just gonna go right in. I'm also, again, it's Halloween, so like, very easy costume today. Very easy costume. Quick little background on how I got into that much debt. It is all my own doing. And I had moved from Central Valley, California to Long Beach, California. Lived there for about 7 years. I'm now officially in LA and I moved in July, end of June, tail end of June. And in that time, before I had moved, I had zero debt. Actually, that's a lie. I had bought my car, so that was debt that I still needed to pay. Just zoomed in a little bit more. So that was debt that I still needed to pay and paid off my car. She's mine, love her. And that also got me into more debt because I did go and put a lot of my maintenance for that car on a credit card. Don't do that. And over time, because I had moved, I was like trying to find new things to do around here. I was hanging out with friends, traveling. I traveled a lot and I loved it so much. But that was not good for my monies, for my pockets. And over the last 6-7 years, I dug myself into a hole, $26,000 worth. I do have a couple thousand in student loans. I am very thankful that I don't have more than that. I'm now starting a debt-free journey. I have wanted to do this for several years now, but I definitely needed to get my mental stability back. It was not very good. It was not very good, and sometimes in some moments. However, we're doing so much better. I could also make another video of that. I've learned so much in going into therapy. I've had four therapists now, 3 of which have been in the last 2 years. So they've all left me. Anyhow, that's not the video today. Another time if that is something that you want to know about. But over time, I have gotten a budgeting down. I've gotten much better at my budgeting. I'm not a consumer. There was a point in time where I was a consumer, but again, the biggest bulk of my money has been coming from the maintenance and the travel that I've done. And that I do. I love traveling. I love experiences. So buying something doesn't really give me the same feeling as traveling does. But no more will I travel without saving up for it first. That is the biggest here. I do budget now. I do a finance tracking in my Notion, and for a very long time I was budgeting and just kind of giving myself like rough estimates as to how much I spent in certain areas and what it is that I like, what was coming up in the next month. I wasn't doing exact numbers, and I'll tell you one thing, I have downloaded a Notion template as well, so I just got it from Notion. I can try and link it if I find it again, so that'll be down below if you want it. I didn't pay for it. It's one of the free ones that Notion has, but I was also kind of just desperate. At one point I was like, I'm just gonna get whatever I want. Like, I really truly just wanted to build it myself, but I didn't have time for that. I just needed to know my numbers, know what I needed to do, get an action plan going, and just do it. However, very quickly did I learn that manually inputting numbers can be kind of tricky. For whatever reason, I was always either short like $50 to what my bank statements had, or over like $50 again from what my bank statements had. And I would ask my boyfriend, because he's really good at math and numbers, I would ask him for help, and he was just like, I have no idea what you're doing here because these numbers are not matching. So keep that in mind, because I just know that my numbers are going to be skewed by like no more than 50. I've gotten it down to about 10, like a $10 difference. And yeah, that's just how we're doing it right now. Again, I am a novice. I have been frugal pretty much my entire life, again, with the exceptions of all of those travels. And I'm very proud of myself right now. If you saw my last video, I uploaded a reset of November reset monthly planning video. If you watch that, I showed you just a little bit of that finance tracker. Today, I'm not going to get too into it in terms of like doing my full thing, but I do want this first video to be how I categorize what I'm spending, where I'm spending, and how things are moving, because I do now have multiple bank accounts. I needed my neighbors to pass. Also, my nose is kind of stuffy. I know I'm not sick, but October, whatever plants, whatever greenery, whatever nature does in October, if it is the fact that like leaves are falling or something, like the pollen or something, I always have allergies near September, October, November. Like, I love the fall. I come alive in the fall. It is my time, y'all. It is my time. I don't care about summer. It's too hot. I don't want to be sweaty. I love the fall. So yes, so if you did watch my last plan with me, I did show a little bit of my budgeting or my numbers, my finance tracker. I like to use Notion for a lot of different things. I haven't gotten into Excel, which I feel like would be so much easier if I just did it and then it did like the math for me, but that's what this template does here. So let me quickly just start screen recording here. So here again, if you watched my last video, you know my personal homepage just looks like this. I do have other little things that I do, but we are going to go into, I'm going to go into August actually. August is a completed month, and here you can see, so at the top here, the overview, it'll show you a net worth. This is what I technically ended my last month with, and my total expenses for this month. This would have been one of the first months that like I'm paying all of my new stuff. I did move in July. The whole purpose was to save money, and my rent has dropped about $300-400, so that's been really great. At the same time though, my work has been fluctuating up and down. In the month of August, I did also earn a little bit more income than normal. I did acquire a new job, which was fantastic. But they let me go. The story is also in my last video, so if you want to know a little bit more, it's in that last video. In August, I was also including my savings in this tracker, but I think that was the issue that was like, or one of the bigger issues with this was that my savings, like I had savings from before, and then just the numbers, like the savings portion of this takes it out of your net. So it did a whole lot of things that I wasn't really understanding. So moving forward after August, September, I think in September, I took out my savings, and I just know that I have savings in another account. Let me talk about what accounts I have. So in the last like 2 years, I have my regular checking that I've had since I was like 15 years old, and that I also opened up a credit card with my banking. So I have 2 accounts on that banking card. I then later on in my life, maybe like 3 years ago, opened up a new account, and that had my quote unquote fun money. So you'll see in here whenever I get an income, my income will have here, where is it, fun money, and every single paycheck that I have from my part-time job, $50 will go into that fun money. This was kind of a loose thing. I wasn't really using it for anything fun. Again, mental health, I was really recluse, I was isolating, I wasn't going out, and I was also just using that for like bills and stuff. So I really didn't have a fun money fund. Now I do. It's how I got to go to my friend's wedding in October, or earlier this month in October. I saved, and it's been it's been one of the best things that I've done for myself. So $50, which would mean $100 per month, that gets taken out of my own paycheck and put into a completely different fund. I've also, in that same banking account, I've acquired a savings account. That savings account gives me a 4% APR, which I love. I think it's actually like a 3.7 APR. I think they've lowered. I think the 4% was a promotional thing, and I think it's actually lowered to like 3.7. So in that banking, I have two accounts, a checking as well, and then a savings account. I have finally, and I'm so proud of myself, I have finally started up a savings account again. There was maybe like 3-4 months that I had zero. But previous months I've always had like a few thousand in there, and I ran through all of that post COVID. So like 2022 was pretty bad. 2023 I got it back up again, and then I lowered another credit card, and then more things happened and I no longer had that job, and I ran through again all of my savings. We're back at it again, and in August I was at $638. Now I think I've got maybe 800 something, 850. I'll double check right now. So if you did want to use this specific template for what it actually does, the savings does come to your right side of the page. And here you can see that I had emergency fund money, or emergency fund, wedding. This is the savings that I had. And then I'm running a 5K in like a week and a half, and I was saving up for that. And then I have tags coming up as well for my car, again, maintenance in the car, that comes out in November, so it's like due in 2 weeks as well. And then furniture, we want a new couch, and that was the savings for that. But again, now you won't see it in my future monthly trackers. This I do put every single expense, everything that has come out of my accounts, all of the accounts, I do put into this area here. So I am one by one transferring. And again, I know that there are apps out there. My boyfriend uses an app that does it automatically for you, which has saved him so much time and money. Actually not money, because he has been paying for that, like a monthly service. I don't want to do that. I am fine giving up my time to do all of this. It'll hold me accountable, see exactly what it is that I am taking out and for what. At first it was kind of a lot of random things. I was also buying some stuff, and overall $1,500. Was this when my tires popped? Yep. Someone slashed my tires, so like $600 was used for that, almost $700, because I also had to pay a tow truck. And my fixed expenses are usually here. August we also didn't have to pay rent because it was also a promotional thing, so I saved a lot of money then. Ooh. But usually my half of the rent is $877, which feels so good. Oh my gosh, going from $1,250 to $877. Amazing. These are all of my accounts here. Yes, I have so you'll see debt here, Capital One. I have a Capital One card. I also have a Bank of America one, Apple, and then I had one for my Mini Cooper. It's a MasterCard. So I am going to be bringing these cards down. Baby, are you down? My income, again, this is when I had I got a new job. I am also an actor, so I do have the opportunities to be on set. I get to be paid to be on set and do exactly what I love to do. Is so great. Hoping for more. I also said in my reset monthly planning video that I had just gotten an agent, so hoping for the best. So there was a background thing that I did that paid me, as you can see, this Topgolf commercial paid me almost $650, and I used all of that money straight for my tires. I was so upset. I was so excited for that. But I was so very thankful that it, of course, covered all of my expenses for that. So that was great. I do still have money in my checking for my bills and everything, so I like to keep most of my money in that, and then like I said, that fund money goes straight into that other account. And right now, let's see where we're at, because we did get paid yesterday, and that would mean, okay, so currently I have $131.65 to play with. I am saving this money for the 5K, so if my friend and I, because I'm running a 5K, my very first 5K with my best friend, if my friend and I want to go out to eat, I want to be able to just be fine with that, you know? And then parking, I'm sure we're renting in Santa Monica, so I'm sure there's going to be, I need to pay some parking, and that'll be fine. In my savings currently, I have $837. Automatically, $30 also gets taken out of my paycheck and put into my savings. Can I do more? Probably. Will I be doing more? I don't know. I need to ask my financial advisor. My financial advisor, I've been dubbing my boyfriend as my financial advisor. Listen, we're learning, we're relearning many, many things. If you feel so inclined to share your opinion as to what you think would be best. I understand like the snowball method. I understand the avalanche method. I do understand the having $1,000 emergency fund. Like that's kind of what my goal is right now. I'm really close. I'm hoping this next few checks, I have a lot of checks from my acting stuff that I have to deposit, so I'm hoping that I could just put in like $250 in there and then be done with my $1,000 emergency fund. On top of that though, like I said, I do have my tags that are due, and then I also have to renew my license. I want to account for that as well. I also need a smog check for my car. So doing that math, I don't think that I will have $1,000, but I do think that I'll have $1,000 by the end of the year. So I'm not too worried. I'm feeling really good about where I'm at right now, because before that was at zero, you guys, that was at zero. So like having some money in there feels wonderful, absolutely wonderful. This first video, I just wanted to get out there to claim how much I owe, and then also what my plan is for the future. It was kind of scattered because I did not give myself an outline. Again, if you watch my other videos, my plan with me is I usually give myself an outline just so I know what to do, but this one's kind of new. It's a new video I'm doing. It's a new little series. We're gonna see how it goes. I do want to actually like draw out a grid or something, or like a snaking effect to hit those milestones and to like be able to color it in. I think I might do that just so we have something physically to see. And when I say we, I do mean we, because you and I were in this together. We're on this together, and it shows. And I want to, if you are also on a journey, it's kind of funny that I start this now because like the holidays are coming. I already told my family I am not, no presents, sorry y'all, but I do want to go and of course spend Christmas with my family, have that family time. So far this year in travel, I think I've only spent maybe like 300, because yeah, I've only done 2 trips so far, and yeah, like $300, which I feel really good about. Before it was a lot more than that, I'm telling you that. So that is what my plan is for my debt-free journey. We got this. We really do. If you have more or less than I do, that's totally fine. That's totally fine. We're on this journey. It's going to take time, patience, and compassion, because prioritizing, I feel like, is such a big thing with finances. Like I said, I want to hit that 1,000, but I also have to pay my tags and get my license. That's just responsibility. That takes precedent than the 1,000. Again, I'm sitting pretty nicely right now, and I know that more money's coming my way. I'm kind of now transitioning into more of like project-based things, so my money does get a little scattered. If you are someone like myself that loves to watch people on the internet talk about their freelancing income, how inconsistent it can be, and you can get like a huge lump sum of money and then some months nothing. That's kind of where I feel my life is going, and I wanted to be better at budgeting and being a-okay with what I have, because I don't need a lot of stuff. I really don't. I find fulfillment and joy with quality time and spending time with people. So like if people can just come over and just hang out with me, that's perfect. I don't have to spend money. We don't have to do anything, you know? Anyways, sorry, long way to say that I have been able to save because I'm spending less. I am buying less stuff. My next video, you will see exactly what I spent in October, and then we'll move forward from that. But I just wanted, again, to put this out there. It's Halloween. This sweater's so big, it feels like I'm just a full screen. Okay, I hope that this was encouraging in some way, some capacity, because I want to hold myself accountable to all of this and like really nail this down and get out of debt. And I'm so excited for the day to come. I cannot wait. I hope, and the dream is that I will be debt free by the end of 2026. We're claiming it, we're saying it. Let's do it. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you being here. Happy Halloween. You won't see this on Halloween, but happy Halloween. Thank you, and I will talk to you later. Don't forget to subscribe if you want to see more. Bye.